Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Quite the move up overnight here. Would already be looking for a potential long. Make sure we got our levels and we're not going into resistance or anything, but this might be a pretty decent setup here. Morning, Gene. Hey, Toad. Hey, OD. Morning, Thomas. Morning, Daryl. Good morning, Ed. I'm just extending our gaps from the previous few days. Today might be the day we go try to get to them. Morning, Tom. Hey, Steve. Oh, bummer. There's rhythmic issues this morning. Welcome to the channel, by the way. What's up? What's up? I don't know that I've seen you here before. Yeah, I am not able to connect to my rhythmic right now. If anyone else is having problems. Yeah, fortunately I'm able to connect to my personal account, so that's probably why I will trade. Wait, there we go. Now I'm connected. Good to go over here. Ooh, I have 4 seconds of lag though. I gotta fix that. There we go. Okay, let's see if the EMA holds here. This would be a nice little second entry. Morning, Squid. Over on the Nas, extending my levels from yesterday. We'll see where yesterday's close ended up too. I think we have somewhat of a gap. Nothing crazy. Yeah, a little bit of a gap overnight. Not much, but solid uptrend. Looking for the potential of an entry here. Seeing how this candle turns around. All right, bearish close on that. So what we'll need to see now is a push above the EMA and a higher low. Take that to a new high. Make it a bullish bar on the Nasdaq. I'd be more interested in that. Not looking like it's gonna finish how we want. Oh boy. Whew, I was not able to cancel that order for a second. Good morning, Neil. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out my newest video, I liked it. I liked it. I think it's a pretty solid one. Pretty interesting concept. Definitely check that out. Back on the S&P, still waiting for that push above the EMA. Kind of doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like we might be reversing here, but we'll be patient and wait for that scenario to play itself out or not. Market open in 5 minutes. And we do not have any, actually we do have Chicago PMI 15 minutes after the open. That's the one piece of news we got today. Otherwise, no news. Alright, we're pretty securely below the EMA now, so not too confident that a long setup is going to occur. We're also 4 minutes away from the open here. So could go get a gap fill at this point. It's kind of what I'm expecting. Hey, Sax guy. Yes, indeed. There are bags to be had this morning. But until then, vitamins and water time, guys. All right, we're gonna get the market open here in a minute and a half. Morning, Chayek. Over on the Nasdaq, we are not gonna have a gap, it looks like. Opening right at yesterday's close. This move down, also possible overshoot. Could get a push higher. Bit of a downtrend working here on the S&P. And we'll see if it can completely fill the gap here on the open. Not much of a gap really, just 6 points or so, and we still of course have these unfilled gaps from the previous couple of days, so look for those to be filled at some point. There's the opening bell. We're going, baby. Market is live. See how we react at the EMA. I could be interested in a failed second entry short. We can get a push above the EMA, nice bullish bar, go to, try to make a new high. See how it all looks. There's the first attempt lower. And no, pretty big push down, so bearish pressure might be a little too much right now. Remember, we do have news here in 15 minutes. And craziness, guys. I just realized tomorrow is June. That is wild. This is the last day of the month. Which, last day of the month, there is often rebalancing of people's portfolios. So look for possibly some volatile action. The month did indeed flew by. Yes, the month did indeed fly by. Jeez Louise, can't even talk this morning. So we've officially now made a new low of that move down, break, new low. So now we are waiting to see if the market can move the opposite direction. we keep getting downward pressure, we might be forced to find some sort of secondary channel like that. We shall see. The Nasdaq looking very weak here. Already filled the gap. Continuing to move down. Big V-shaped reversal. Maybe headed on the Nasdaq to test the highs of this little range, this little overnight range. S&P still has not quite filled the gap from overnight. Okay, here we were getting that push up that we were expecting after this channel played out with a break and a new low. Always when you see that a channel having a break and a new extreme, look for a move in the opposite direction. That's exactly what we're getting. See how long it lasts. A little bit of an overshoot of that move up. Nasdaq also moving up. Got a nice bull bar there. It would have looked good if it was the failed second entry, but that's just the first one. Nasdaq having a pullback here of this uptrend. I could be interested if we get 2 legs on the EMA. The ES is looking a lot stronger though. Setup might be better here, but I don't know, might not even pull back though. Alright, Nas had a little break and a new high. Right here, move up, break, new high. S&P still moving up. If we can get a pullback before the high, it will look good for a long. Yeah, no, Archer, you were talking with an imposter. Guys, I say this all the time, like, really, you gotta be careful about scammers on Discord. Just look at the username, like, see if it matches. I will never, ever message you about, I don't know, signals or a secret group or whatever it is that people are messaging you about. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, and I can't keep up with moderating all these people. Like, they come into the free Discord, I ban them, but they still like send a friend request to everyone. So, yeah, just watch out. We are at the EMA on this pullback. Nasdaq not holding at all, just making a big drop down. So not too confident. And check out this pattern that we have, guys. This should tell you something about the day. Move up. Didn't even get a new high. Big move down. Move down. Barely got a new low. Big move up. We are starting to get into some dangerous territory where we're just going back and forth, up and down above the EMA, a violent range, if you will. So just be cautious here. Again, this is the very end of the month. There's going to be some portfolio rebalancing. Volatile stuff. Just watch out. Trade with caution. Yep, the Chicago PMI is out. So we are past the news for the day. I don't have to worry about any scheduled news releases, at least. We have the first attempt lower on the ES. I could be interested in a short if we come back to the EMA and there's clear resistance. We get a nice reversal candle. That could convince me. Potential bounce up, yeah. Yeah, we could. I mean, we can, you know, visually you can see obviously that we're hitting that same level there, but the Nasdaq is quite a bit weaker. So I don't necessarily expect a bounce here. Nasdaq looks like it wants to continue down. All right, S&P is coming to fill the gap here. And until, guys, this is just a solid rule of thumb, but until we break the overnight high or the overnight low, we are basically in a range. Especially until we break the previous day's high and the previous day's low. It's just an inside day, right? So nothing so far is looking super directional. Nasdaq incredibly weak here. Looks like the gap is about to be filled on the S&P. All right, gap is filled. See if we can get a bounce off this area. Also, I don't think I mentioned SPY is right at its 50-day moving average. Which is a... Wait, no, sorry, no it's not. I was like, that doesn't make sense. No, it is at the 20-day moving average. Yeah, the 50 is still below. So the 50 is more of a common moving average to look at the daily on SPY. So if we were testing that, that would definitely be newsworthy and something to keep an eye on. The 20, I haven't really experimented too much with on the daily chart. I think institutions are more concerned with, pardon me, the 50, the 100, and the 200. All right, well, we're continuing to move down here, folks. So this is when we need to identify the secondary channel going on. And our bias is definitely to the short side on the Nasdaq. Yeah, looks like this secondary channel fits pretty well right here. And so on both indices, I would definitely be interested in a short. We have 2 attempts to go lower on the ES. There's 1 attempt and 2 attempts. We're still quite a ways away from the EMA. If we get back there and get a bearish bar, could be interested in a short. Later, Dax guy. Sax guy. Dax guy, I kind of like that one though. Yeah, quit while you're ahead. That's the way to do it, man. Enjoy your weekend. Okay, we're back at the EMA. Let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see if we can get a lower high here. Confirm this rejection at the EMA. Nasdaq is moving up. Not a strong enough bar for me. Kind of doji like. There was some conviction on that bar. I'd be interested in taking a short, but Did not show much conviction. Over on the Nasdaq, same kind of deal. Need a really good bar here. Doesn't look like we're getting it. Pushing above the EMA, so I think maybe we're experiencing a reversal. Still above the EMA, but if we get a push below and a lower high, I'm going to be taking that. Okay, there's that move below the EMA. Can we get a lower high? Let's see. It was a pretty strong move down. Kind of feels like it's not going to give us that lower high we need to join, but we'll see. So just visually here, guys, we have our pullback and like our first move down. We could get another pullback like this. Be a very visual pattern for sure. And I'd look for that. I kind of have a feeling this is just going to go straight to a new low here. There is the new low. So man, that was a perfect context for a trade. Didn't quite set up. We just needed one little confirmation right in here somewhere. One little lower high, but it's all good. So now we got to watch yesterday's low, which is right down here. And then the overnight low would be the next level we're looking at. We're already below yesterday's low on the Nasdaq. Oh, I didn't realize that's right where we were on that retest. Might have just taken that based on context because of that. Yeah, nice breakthrough and rejection of yesterday's low on the Nas. We'll see if we can break through the overnight low. Nice, Johnny took that lower high. Yeah, it just wasn't quite, it wasn't actually a lower high. But yeah, it was a good bear bar. Definitely a nice bear bar. Yeah, it's all right, Johnny. There's no judgment here. It just wasn't actually a lower high because by the definition, you have to have a high for it to be a lower high, right? It has to go higher in some sense. This didn't go higher at all. We had to move up, and then the market just went down. So there was no point at which it went higher. So totally fine. I'm not saying that that you're wrong in taking that trade. It just wasn't a lower high. It was just a nice bear bar. SPY is coming up to yesterday's low. Shayak, I hope you're not still in a long, my friend. Nasdaq peaked below the overnight. We'll see if it can confirm below, but we do have a break of this channel and a new extreme formed at this key level. Would not be surprised to see a bounce here. Johnny asking, extending the downtrend. Yeah, I think if we continue below this level, I think this downtrend will be pretty obvious. But we'll play that for sure. I wonder if we can do that on the Nasdaq. Yeah, that looks pretty good. BRB guys, I need some chapstick. Tom, I was literally gonna make that same joke. My lips hurt real bad. Little plug here, not an affiliate, but Burt's Bees Original, guys. That is the only chapstick for me. Burt's, you know, if you're watching, I'd love it. Love a deal. Love a sponsorship. I'd be all about it. All right, we're bouncing off yesterday's low. So I'd be a little bit more hesitant to take a short here. This is where I wanted the short. This would have been just perfect if it had set up there. Down here, not as much because you're bouncing off this key level. Those are the kind of areas in which you can get a reversal and then the channel just never looks back. Nasdaq better because it is below the overnight low, below yesterday's low. So those levels are broken, and if we can come back and test it around here, that will look good. So waiting for a pullback on the Nasdaq for a short. Waiting for the ES to get below yesterday's low and hold it for a short. All right, SPY is below the low. Below yesterday's low, I should say. Coming up on the overnight low as well. As Nasdaq continuing its drop down. Possible overshoot of the channel. We'll see how that reacts. ES2, possible slight overshoot right at the overnight low. But I could definitely take a short if it comes back to the EMA. So here we're getting a pullback. Let's see how it reacts. Johnny says we're right at a measured move from the top. Let's check that out. Yep, sure are. We'll see if this channel keeps going though. This would be a spot to bounce at the overnight for sure, especially on an overshoot of the Nasdaq channel. Okay, here we go. We have our first attempt lower right here. See what this looks like at the EMA. Yep, not a bearish bar. Let's see how the next one looks. Now close above the EMA, and this is kind of just what I feared coming off of the overnight low. I'll need to wait for a lower high confirmation here. Nas already has 2 attempts lower, 1 right here, 2 right here. We're miles away from the EMA though, so it can't take anything. Okay, let's see if we get a lower high on the S&P. I kind of think we're going to have a bigger correction here, but we'll see. That's a big lower high. A lot of risk on that one. Yeah, good luck to anyone taking. I can for sure see why someone would take that. It's just a little bit big for me. Nice, Neil. Glad you got that one. No, honestly, if anyone took that, you know, that's a pretty solid setup. Pretty solid. And if you feel your pulse going, you're most likely trading too much size. Probably size down. It happened too fast too. That was the other thing. I didn't even have time to react to it. It just boom. It happened. You had to be quick on that one. This is starting to look like the start of a bear trend day, guys. We are now below the overnight low. As long as that can hold, we will only be looking for shorts today. And I'm crossing my fingers for that one. And Johnny's asking who is more OG than him in the chat. You and Toad are the OGs, I'd say. Would love to see both of you guys in the Discord, man. That'd be awesome. You should consider that, Johnny. Alright, starting to form a little support at the overnight low. There's Toad. I knew he was around somewhere. Want to see clear rejection right here. Continue down. And we might have all sorts of chances for shorts today. I like that, Tom. I don't even remember what's below us. Yeah, totally, Johnny. You have come a long way, my friend. Toad, nice. Wanted to pull Joe's hairs out. Maybe that's what happened, man. Shoot. That's what went wrong with me. Pursuant saying, apologize if you've mentioned it. But have you given any thought on how you'd like to potentially approach demonstrating the use of the 1OP indicator? No, I'm not sure how I want to do that. Here we're starting to get a bounce on the S&P. Testing that overnight low yet again. Let's see what this looks like, guys. Let's see if we get rejection here or not. Meanwhile, Nasdaq just as weak as all get out. Do not have our first attempt lower yet. Okay, here we go. Testing that overnight low yet again. Let's see if we get some rejection there. Try a quick one on there. Probably should have waited for the lower high on that. I think I got a little eager with the all the selling that's been going on. Waiting for the lower high is the smarter move. Pretty congested too, so I don't think this is a great entry. Might scratch out if I get the chance. What I'll do is I'll trail my stop. I'll move it to break even if we get below there. And Tom says I took the exact same trade, you're in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, I'll move my stop to break even on there just because I didn't like that entry very much, so I'm okay with just taking the break even trade. But hey, if this gets going, it gets going. Come on, baby, break to a new low. Nasdaq already reached a new low. Probably gonna bounce up, and that's totally fine. I do not mind taking break even on this. It's like a free pass. If you have an entry that's not great, it's a free pass if you can get out at break even. Come on, baby. Once it makes a new low, I'll trail my stop. So close, so close. I'm watching the Nasdaq pretty closely to see if it drops, but it kind of looks like it's gonna bounce, so I think we will likely get out of break even here. Be kind of fun to get a little bonus and a big drop. I don't think that's gonna happen. Took break even, no worries. Alright, so definitely can't look for a short now on the S&P as it's kind of looking range-like. I unfortunately was dealing with the S&P, but Nasdaq had a really nice setup if you were watching that. 2 attempts to go lower, nice lower high right at the EMA. That is absolutely perfect setup. Took the Nas, nice Toad. Yes, Toad, Apex did extend their sale to June 3rd, basically through this weekend. Yeah, still time to get everything that was already on sale. $16 250K accounts, 90% off everything else, and you still have the activation fee sale going on until mid-June. So all right, looks like we're entering a new market cycle. Very clearly a range here. Looks like we might come and test again that overnight low. Nasdaq just straight in a bear trend for sure. So just looking for opportunities to short that. Okay, here's the pullback on the Nasdaq. Let's see how it looks. Want 2 clear legs, 1 and 2. I want to see the EMA rejecting. I want to see this trend line rejecting. S&P break into a new low here. All right, now let's see what you got. Nice, Saif. Sounds good, man. That is the technical second entry on the Nasdaq there. I don't like how low it closed, but certainly could work. S&P maybe putting in a higher low here on the bottom of that little range after the trend has played out technically. Let's move down, break, and there is our new low. So we might get a correction here on ES. Well, if you haven't made this realization yet, guys, it is a bearish day. I would only be looking for shorts, only looking to see when bullish corrections play out, and then looking again for another move to the downside. So watch this overnight low level, watch to see if that holds. But even if we do break above, if the uptrend plays out, we could easily push below it again. So for sure looking bearish unless we get a major uptrend. Doesn't seem likely today, so stick to the short side unless it becomes apparently clear, undeniably clear that we're bullish. But yeah, it's been a good week. End of the month, crazy it has flown by. But thanks for hanging with me, guys. I appreciate it. See the Discord team here in a little bit. The rest of you have a great weekend, and I will see you this coming week for some more exciting action. Take care, everybody. See you next time.